Hey, what's up? I know that this was a last minute deal, and tons of you guys obviously aren't able to make it last minute. I am Central Time currently, so if you're in California, you're probably still 8 a.m., barely waking up, seeing the emails about the live cast. So I didn't expect anybody to really be here, but I wanted to shoot this video, give you an opportunity. I mean, if you want to jump in and ask a question, if you are here or going to get here before I quit it, that's cool. I wanted to shoot this video because we still have tons of people joining regularly, which is awesome. And unfortunately, we keep getting the question of, I'm not sure it's unfortunate. It's more like you need guidance in what to practice. Tons of people going, okay, it's almost like you know you're sick and you want the medicine. You're like, okay, what's the medicine I need to take? Right? So you come here, you're like, okay, I got a doctor. The doctor's going to give me the medicine that I need to fix the problem. The problem is you need to put in work, right? So what work to put in, what to practice? First of all, if you're here, can you tell me you can hear me? So I mean, I don't want to waste time. But I'm pretty sure it's working. Everything here on my end is showing like it's working. But what do you need to practice starts with a goal. I know I made a similar video post maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago about a similar question, but I wanted to make this and probably, I don't know, snip it up and save it as one of the more prominent posts so that people know what to do when they first join the program. You need to start with a goal. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? That needs to drive your practice and what to practice. If your goal is as little as I just want to shoe better, that isn't specific enough to drive your practice, and you're not going to be motivated enough to actually get it done. Your goal needs to be something that you're like really passionate about, really excited about, and specific, so that you are more bought into doing the work that is required to achieve it. All right. So, for example, for some of you guys, it's absolutely, well, I want to get my mod coin. I want to be the first person or the second, whatever. You want to get a gold coin. Or for some of you guys, it may be, I want to make A class or master class in USPSA, or I want to be master class in IDPA, or, I want to get my 0.1 tactics coin. Whatever it is, it needs to be specific and something that you truly want to get accomplished. You can't have these general, very blanket statement, I just want to be safer with my gun, or I want to be able to defend myself. Yeah, those are good goals, but they're not specific enough. I would rather you say, okay, I want to be able to draw to a 7-yard target A zone in under 1.5 because I can't do that yet. Cool. That's a good, specific, measurable goal to achieve. Okay, what is it that we need to work on? So let's say that was your initial small goal. Great. All right, so you want to draw that's under 1.5, and you want it to be repeatable. And then we go, okay, cool. So which holster are we doing this from? Are we doing this from inside the waistband? If so, great. Let's get your appendix holster figured out. Let's get it dialed in. What does that holster look like? Can you actually use it properly, right? So you would go and look at this program and go, okay, what skills do I need to get that goal done? Okay, so you might look at the draws from appendix. There's a bunch of appendix videos on there, and you start collecting those. You start putting them back to back. Maybe you get a pad and go, okay, video 4, video 8, video 12, whatever it is, are the videos that I need to string together to build my own practice session. So you have all the components. You have a bunch of components already recorded, and there's going to be more coming out. You grab those components that get you closer to your goal. Hope that makes sense. So for the draw, we said 1.5, 7 yards. So you might do, okay, I'm going to watch the grip video, because if your grip sucks, it doesn't matter, right? You could have this like great thing about speed, but if your grip isn't consistent, it doesn't matter. You might get a thoracic draw. You might get a below the waistband draw. Those are things that are important. You might have to do some of those vision drills. I've done a video on vision and moving your eyes and all that stuff. So stringing those 3, 4, 5 pieces for a simple goal as a sub 1.5 draw is important. than watching the rest of the videos. It's important to watch the videos. There's like little snippets in each video that you might pick up and you go, okay, cool, I need to write that note down. If you're not taking notes during the videos, you're not really helping yourself, right? The content is there, but it won't magically make you better. You have to watch it. You have to rewatch it, take some notes. Essentially, the way to learn is to write about, think about, talk about the things that you want more of. So if you see some piece of the content, you're like, oh, shoot, I want to be able to do that. Write about it, talk about it, read about it, and do as many things around it as possible. Writing is a big component. You need to write down your goal. It needs to be a measurable goal, and then you need to go after it with those specific pieces of content that you're getting released on the program. There's a couple of you guys in here. If you've got questions, put them up there in the chat. But essentially, I wanted to make a video that would point you in the direction of how to get it done. And how you get it done is you write your goal, you establish what it is that you're trying to measure, and then you pick different pieces and components of the program that's already been laid out to get you there. If for some of you guys, it's like, okay, I want to get my modern samurai standards under control, and I want to be able to get my patch. Great. Okay, so all 4 standards, how to dry fire those has been recorded and is available to you. You can go and practice along. You can go and check out like little snippets of cheat code and feedback on how to do that. But also, you still need to draw. You still need to get your draw figured out. You still need to get your grip figured out. You still need to get your vision figured out. So it's not just, well, I just want to do that one thing. Well, you want to do that one thing, but there's components to your shooting that you can work in dry fire that are recorded and you can piece together. That's what you practice. You piece together the stuff that gets you closer to your goal. That's what you want to make your practice sessions like. And then once you're like on fire about, okay, I want to get that thing done. Maybe you want to level up to A class in USPSA. Okay, to level up to USPSA, whatever, you need to do some movement. You need to do some step and draws, which has also been recorded. You need to do some draws. You need to do a ton of reloads. There's Burkett reloads. There is, I'm going to be recording a video on pause and effect, which is part of the reload process. I was sharing with the VIP people the other day. There's a lot, the pluck draw, the scoop draw. There's a lot of things that you can piece together to level up in your USPSA game or your IDPA game or whatever. If you're trying to do the 0.1 tactics standards, for one of them, it's the fast coin, right? So you need to have a very spicy appendix reload. And if you don't work that video, that specific skill, who cares if you can draw really fast? If you draw really fast, but you have a bad grip, irrelevant. If you have a good grip and you draw slow, irrelevant. You draw fast, you have a good grip, but you have a bad reload, irrelevant. Does that make sense? So there are a ton of components in the Dryfire program. How you use them and what you use from the program is 100% dependent on what you're trying to get accomplished. So although, yeah, I can help you, guide you on stuff. I mean, some of the VIP people that are in that tier and they're submitting video and they're sharing their goals, I'm able to more specifically help them. Obviously, I can't do that for everybody. I mean, I would spend hours and hours and hours trying to come up with a plan for you. I'm trying to give you this piece of advice that can guide you. You're smart. Go, okay, cool. I want to get this done. What components of Dryfire that's already been recorded and available for me to use do I need to put in my practice sessions to reach that goal? If it's not super obvious and you have a specific question, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm available to you. Send me an email. I might point you to a video or two, or ask you more specific questions about what goal you're trying to crush. But this is an active thing. Okay, and then let's say, okay, I want to level up in USPSA. I've got all my lists or whatever. Don't dry fire the same exact thing every day. You might dry fire something a little bit different every other day. So maybe your Monday, Wednesday, and Friday session looks one way. Maybe a Tuesday, Thursday session looks another way. It doesn't have to be the same exact session. I would say some things are non-negotiable. The draw, non-negotiable. Building the grip, non-negotiable. But maybe your vision drill is only a couple times a week. Your strengthening drill should be only a couple times a week. Your stretching should be non-negotiable every single day. If you're not doing that stuff, you're not helping yourself get closer to the goal. All right. Looks like a question is in. What is the best tool to help strengthen grip strengthener as individuals? Okay, so there's a video. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Grip strength. It is video 009. It was released on March 14th. I talk about grip strength there. And then there's also a fitness one, Dryfire Fitness, that was released on March 29th. That's video number 12. Watch those. Does that answer your question? I talk specifically about how to build strength, how to stretch things, both the inner part of your arm and the outer part of your arm, so you stay away from injury. Grip strengtheners are good. The dumbbell exercises that I do in those videos are absolutely imperative. And it's not just curls, it's the inner part of your arm, the outer part of your arm, and some rotation as well. Stretch bands, if you have, those rubber bands, that maybe stick one under your foot and rotate out, or rotate in this way. Really good ways to strengthen both your grips and your forearms and your wrists and all that. Are Dryfire devices like Mantis helpful, or is it okay with your program solely? Don't really want to buy, not necessary. 100% not necessary. Who is this? I don't see a name, but you're here. So somehow you must be one of the people. I just don't know. There's no name here. But anyway, whoever you are, no, you don't need a Mantis. You don't need a Dryfire mag. You don't need anything. You don't need anything. I don't use anything. Do you see me using any tools? I don't use any tools. That's a good question. It comes up a lot, but you don't need tools to get better. You need to do work. You need to be specific about your goal and then pick the elements of Dryfire that you already have available, plus the ones that are coming, to develop different routines to get you closer to your goal. The stuff that's non-negotiable needs to happen regularly, like the strengthening, the fitness part, the draws, the vision drills. Those are non-negotiables. You have to do it. You have to do the stuff. Maybe you're an appendix guy and you're like, man, I don't really want to practice the reloads because I don't really want to do any of the standards and I just want to shoot for self-defense. Great. So maybe you don't do a crap ton of reloads. But man, I'm telling you, if you ever get into a scenario, and I know it's a little bit statistically irrelevant, the day you need a reload, wouldn't it be nice to have one that you've practiced a lot and you feel confident that you can use? So do you need to do, I think there's like 50 videos out now, 40. There's already like 40 plus videos posted on the Dryfire program. And before the end of the summer, there will be over 50. Like there'll be almost 60 videos before the end of summer. Do you need to practice all 60 videos? No, it can be overwhelming. That's part of the reason I wanted to make this is I don't want you to be overwhelmed. You join the program and you're new to the program and you watch all the content. You're like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? This is where you start. You make a goal. You make a measurable goal, like something you can achieve, something that you can quantify. And then you pick the portions of the program that get you closer to your goal. Now, should you watch all of the videos at some point? Absolutely. You have them available. You should watch them. You should rewatch them and take notes on the ones that specifically give you bits of information that you want to come back to. So I can't remember. So originally I did the appendix back in, maybe 2-3 months ago. I did the first appendix from thoracic draw. And then I found a little bit of an upgrade where if I put my thumbs together, it gives me an index point that's center line. And I recorded it sometime later. And I don't think it was another thoracic draw exercise. It might've been part of a standard, whatever. So you need to watch all the videos because you might pick up some new upgrades, some new updates in those videos. Now, that doesn't mean you have to practice every single video, every practice session. You'd be practicing for 5-6 hours a day. And obviously that's not productive nor feasible. But when you have time, pick a video, watch that. When you have time, pick a video, watch that. As you watch more and you have more content available to you, you pick and choose the components of the program that get you closer to your goal. But again, if you're the person that's not willing to sit down for 5 minutes, get like a journal out, a piece of paper out, and writes down, thinks about the goals you're trying to achieve, writes down the goals, and then underneath comes up with a plan to achieve those goals, you're not going to crush any goals. You're forever going to be either disappointed or unsatisfied or frustrated because you're not moving any closer to anything. You're just kind of like, I dry fire sometimes. Dry firing once a week isn't going to get closer to your goals. Now, you can be on the program and, maybe you don't have like any massive major goals and you're just like, all right, cool. I'm going to participate when I can. I'm going to dry fire when I can. Okay, cool. If you're not super motivated, you're not going to get massive change from the program. Now, I know some other people that are on this program that are making leaps and bounds with the progress every single week because they're putting in 2-a-days, 3-a-days, practicing 20-minute sessions, 2-a-days, 3-a-days. Will make you massive progress if you are specific in your practice, you have goals you're trying to achieve, and you are consistent. That's how you get there. All right. So I don't want to go super long, but I did want to make a video that hopefully helps people figure out what to practice and what to practice. If you don't have a goal, you'll never know. Again, you'll be frustrated. You'll be like, oh, I don't know. It's so overwhelming. I'm just going to not do anything. Or whatever video comes out this week, that's what I practiced this week. That's cool. But I mean, if this week, let's say I come out with some really challenging challenge, right? Let's say I do one of the guys' challenge that I'm breaking down or whatever, but you've never worked on draw, you've never worked on reload, you've never worked on grip, you've never worked on vision, you don't do fitness, you don't do stretching, all that stuff. How are you ever going to be able to make that specific challenge if you're missing the components that get you closer to that challenge? The challenge dry fire stuff is available to you to break down specific goals for that challenge, but the components need to still be worked on. The non-negotiables still need to be worked on. Make sense? So any questions from the two of you that are here? I know that, again, I know this was super last minute. I was just sitting there practicing. I was thinking, I get this question a lot. I'm just going to do a quick live. If anybody can jump on, great. And if they can't, I'm going to post it for everybody to see. But it's important that we learn how to determine what to practice. All right, dudes, if you got no questions, dudettes, I have no idea who the second person is, but if you have no questions, I'm going to declare it off here. Going once, going twice. All right, hopefully that's helpful to you. Again, if you're watching this video later and you have a follow-up questions, put it in the comments on Patreon. And if you need to email me, always trainingmyown.com. Again, the only reason you can get after, or the only way you can get after that goal is to have specific goal, measurable goal, and then use the components in the program to get you there. Take care, everybody.